What's up, everybody, on Charleston Car videos? So you're clicking on this video because I'm talking about this Lincoln Continental a little bit. You know, I was really kind of blown away by the Lincoln Continental when I seen it this past week and filmed it. I have read some of y'all's comments and see what y'all had to say, and you know, a few of y'all said, you know, it's just too bad that the Lincoln Continental is just not selling all that great, right? It is too bad because it's a absolutely beautiful vehicle. You know, I don't really know the exact reason on why some cars sell better than some don't. I just got to go look at it one more time because I got a feeling it's probably gonna sell pretty quick. It's just so beautiful, right? Look at it. I mean, is that not a pretty car? It really is. I mean, why would people not buy that? Now, let's think about that for a minute. This is a 2018, 20,000 miles on it for $37,880. New, it's a select. It's around $43,000, $44,000 new. So are people not buying the Lincoln Continental because of the price? Because the select model is around $44,000, and then maybe going up to Signature Series or whatever they got on the higher levels is going into the 50s and 60s? I don't know. Price usually does seem, though, to be a key reason why people don't buy cars. But people buy Cadillacs. They buy Escalades. You know, people are saying also that the new, you know, Lincoln Navigator isn't selling all that great. When the Lincoln Navigator came out with the new body style, I was blown away by it. It's a beautiful car. Again, another one. It's like Lincoln's doing a great job. I like Ford trucks. I like Ford vehicles, so I only could like a Lincoln product. Here's what I think, okay? And I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion about Lincoln. What did General Motors do? What did General Motors do? General Motors owns Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC. Now, listen close. A few years ago, I worked for the Cadillac dealership. Probably about 5 years ago, maybe a little less. Worked for the Cadillac store. The Cadillac dealership in Charleston here was basically in an old grocery store that got closed down and bought out by a company named Century Buick GMC Cadillac. Before, another man owned the Cadillac store here in town, and they had a little caddy store up in Goose Creek, which was kind of odd, but they had a little store, just a tiny little store in Goose Creek, and then they had the Cadillac store in Mount Pleasant. So two caddy stores. The Mount Pleasant one, I think, was like the main hub. Then this company named Century buys them because they had GMC and Buick over in this old grocery store on Savannah Highway down here on Highway 17. And they bought Cadillac and they put Caddy in that particular building. Well, a few years goes by after Century owns Cadillac and puts it in there and mixes it in with the Buicks and everything else. And what happens? Well, a guy named Tommy Baker that owns Baker Motor Company, that owns all the luxury line dealerships pretty much in Charleston except for Audi and Acura and Lexus. Tommy Baker buys the Cadillac franchise along with GMC and Buick. And here's what happens while I'm working at the store when Baker Motor Company owns it. About 6 months into working there, they say, well, guys, look up front here in the front of this huge parking lot at this old grocery store. Right out there is going to be where the new Cadillac store is going to be at. Oh, wow. Ooh, wow, new Cadillac store. I want to be in there. I want my office to be in the Cadillac store. I want to be in the Caddy store. I don't want to be in this old grocery store turned into a car dealership selling GMCs and Buicks. I want to be in the Cadillac store. And I wasn't the only salesperson that was excited to be in the Cadillac store, right? That's right. So what Cadillac did is they started implementing all over America with dealerships that own the Cadillac franchise. And they said, look, you either gonna build a Cadillac dealership in its own rooftop, or you're gonna have to give up your franchise. You understand? So you're either gonna make the Caddy store its own dealership and let's take Cadillac to the next level, or you're gonna have to probably sell off the franchise to another company or another man and they will do it for you. Now stay with me for a minute. We're gonna talk about this next part right after I go inside and get some water. All right, so let me finish this story. And you see all these old guys on the wall? Ford, Henry Ford II. Boy, look at those guys. They looking freaking good, aren't they? Yeah, that kind of stuff, right? Man, because you know, Ford goes back to the olden days, you know, along with every other auto manufacturer. Cadillac started their own rooftop stores. And if the dealers that owned them didn't have enough guts or enough big deep pockets to build $1 million dealership to put a Cadillac in, then they were done. So that's my thoughts right now on why the Lincolns aren't selling like the Cadillacs are. When someone drives and buys a car, they want to have a good feeling. They want to be able to pull into a dealership that's not mixed in with trucks and everything else. And I know, you know, not everybody cares about that, but there is those people out there that are spending 40, 50, 60 plus $1,000 on a brand in a car, and it's a nice car, but they want to have the perks of being inside the luxury dealership and have the luxury feel. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, you do. So, the long and short of it, maybe some places in the United States of America have their own rooftop Lincoln store. I get it. But Charleston, South Carolina, the holy city, the historical city, creeping up on 600,000-700,000 people and growing to 1 million by 2025. Let me tell you, it's time that Palmetto Ford down the road here, it's time for Palmetto Ford to build a Lincoln dealership. That's right. And it's time for the other Ford stores around the country that are housing these little Lincolns in their Ford dealerships to put a Lincoln in its own dealership. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe actually Lincoln is gonna have to say, look, you dealers that own these Ford and Lincoln stores, it's time to go ahead and build a Lincoln dealership. That's what we're waiting on. So that's what it's gonna take probably for Lincolns to start selling more. And it might be a bold statement that I'm making, but it's the truth. And my alarm's going off on my phone, meaning, hey, you gotta pack up and get on out of here, because I gotta get home. Wife's got somewhere to be. So anyways, with all that being said, I gotta get off this video. I hope you understood what I was saying. Please go in the comment section, let me know what you think. You know, is it because Lincoln just doesn't have enough models? I don't think so. I think they need their own rooftop. Let me know in the comments though, what your thoughts are on why Lincolns aren't selling enough. My reasoning again is because they don't have their own rooftop, which makes customers feel a certain way. Peace!